Welcome back to another No Hesi video. I just got certified and I want to share all the tips and tricks that I learned from all my runs, and hopefully you guys could learn something from it. So starting off, do not use the spawn route. You are going to run into players. What I recommend doing is opening up your chat, go to the light bulb and choose extras. Teleport to, choose 3 Lane Southbound right here at the bottom, and then do position 1, teleport, and it takes you right here. So this is where we're at. We're all the way down at the bottom, right where this green square is, and spawn is all the way up here. The spawn route usually goes down this route, but we're going up this route instead. Okay, so starting off a run, you want to get nothing but purple combos. That should be your goal. Make sure every car you pass, you get that opportunity to get as much combo points as possible. Especially starting off a run, it's very important that you build up a combo fast. And what's going to allow you to do that is my other tip here, which is stay on the white line as much as possible. That's going to allow you to maintain some speed while kind of just going in and out of traffic, zooming by them. Sometimes you'll hear it referred to as like swimming, just barely touching your wheel back left and right, just like. And once you get really good at it, you could speed up and go really fast, and that allows you to build even more combo. And like for lineups right here, we have no cars in front of me. You could get massive combos by speeding up really quick, so make sure you utilize that starting off your runs. Now this brings me to my next tip. Keep up with your combo. Make sure you're seeing how well you're doing on your run. So what I like to do for this southbound run is see those checkered buildings up ahead. That's our first checkpoint. We see how well we're doing. We have 200x right now. I would say maybe a little bit below a normal run. It's not really too good to have 200x. You want to have like 300, and 400 would really set you off strong. If you could get 400 by checkered buildings, that would be a great start to your run. So another thing you're going to want to consider for these runs is lag is basically built into the server. When the server weather changes, lag will happen for sure. So be aware that cars will sometimes be going like this, and then all of a sudden they'll be like this, and then back. And all you want to do during that is just what you would normally do before the action happens. So try to just ignore the lag that's going on and just continue your run. All right, and for this next tip, you want to make sure you have a way to reference your kilometers per hour. Why that's so important is, well, you need to maintain 95 in order to not lose your combo. And then if you're below 95 for too long, you just lose all your points. So right now I'm just using the built-in gears app up in the top right, and that shows me my kilometers per hour, or you could have it set to mph. Another place to check is a lot of these cars actually in first person will have like kilometers per hour. This one has it right on the front windshield, which is really nice. Helps you see it as you're driving. This is the M4 F84, by the way. And especially in 2-lane traffic, you want to be like in first person view with a car like this that shows you kilometers per hour. Or what other people do is they'll drag this down to here, or like right here, you know, just a nice place for you to just easily reference without taking your eyes off the road too much, you know. To this next point, first person versus third person. This tip is just understand the difference between first and third and what their pros and cons are. So in first person, this is going to give us way more control of our car. We can make those quick actions, and we're not going to spin out because I know how to control my car like this. I'm not getting those delayed responses, you know. I'm basically drifting my car here, and I feel every minute. Okay, right there I was going too much, but you guys get the idea. But if I switch up to third person, just watch how this changes here. If I try to do the same thing where I'm like quickly, like my car feels so much more dragged out. It feels like I'm over or undercompensating for it. So for quick actions like that, where you're really having to understand what the car is going through, first person definitely has your back. Here's the difference for third person. Look how far ahead we could see. It is so nice to just be able to pre-plan out your line that you want to take. In third, also you could get really good at getting really close to cars in third person. You could easily see how close your car is. So if you are struggling to get purple combos, maybe that's something to consider. But overall, I would say switch back and forth, you know, whichever one you're feeling for the day, go for it. But first person, I would say definitely gives you that more stability if you're trying to go a little more crazy with it. Now onto this next tip, reduce your neck effects and choose the basic chase camera. You do not need any fancy stuff for this. You're just driving straight, okay? This isn't drifting or anything. This isn't a cinematic shoot. You're just trying to get the best score. Especially in first person, if you have neck effects on that are very dramatic, you're gonna have delayed responses in your head movement. So instead of following what the car is doing, you're following a delayed head. Hopefully that makes sense. But just turn all those delays off. You don't have to have one-to-one input, but it definitely does help to turn those settings down and just get a more non-volatile head moving around, you know? Just to show you guys really quick, here are my neck effect settings. This is all that I have changed, just those red highlighted text. Those are the changes I have. All right, this next tip may not be helpful to some of you. I know some of you guys are on keyboard, and then everyone out there has a bunch of different wheels. Upping your wheel strength will help you a bunch for this, especially on those quick turn movements like that. See how easily I was able to just quickly turn back and stabilize myself with wheel strength turned down. Here, let me turn it down really quick just to show you guys what that would look like. Okay, so I turned it down to about like 40% now. It was at like 80%. So if I try to do the same movements I would in the high force feedback, let's see how that goes. Oh, geez. Okay. Yeah, so it definitely feels a lot more looser than it did when I had it on a much higher power. So if you have that option available to you, I would say turn it all the way up. Utilize that high power in your wheelbase. But if you're just drifting or something like that, I would say I never put it up that high. Here's another quick tip. Focus on your driving instead of your score. Stop glancing up at your score. Don't do that. Remember I said, have those checkpoints and use those as a point of reference to see how well you're doing. Glancing up back and forth isn't going to help you. Focus on your driving, and that's what's really going to take you to the next level. Another thing you'll want to do is have a map close by that shows other players that are nearby. So I use the default map and I put it right over my GPS, because in a real car that's often a reference point I look at, so it's really easy for me to just look there and bring my eyes back up to the road, and I can see if a player is coming up ahead, which if there is, I need to be very careful because they will mess up the run, guaranteed. Alright, now this tip will be for trying to get more purple combos. One thing I do that helps me out is use some of the features on your car as a reference point for how close you could get to those other cars. Okay, so you can see on the windshield here how I have that like arc. So let's see if I put that arc, the left side of my arc is touching the car on my left, like right before I pass them. So all cars are different, just figure out what works best for you. But I noticed that did help me out during my runs, using the car as kind of like a point of reference for how close you could get. It definitely helped me stack up those purples a lot quicker. Now for this next tip, this will be for finding a No Hesi server. Make sure to always use these keywords. Go up to the search, make sure you're in Kunos, and search for either No Hesi Public, Light, or Heavy. So when you do that, it will bring up all the public heavy traffic servers. That's going to make it a lot easier to find and open servers. And then I usually sort it by ping so I can find what's best. Okay, so the next thing I would like to talk about is my plugins that I am using. The first one being this track display. This displays the entire track. It allows you to see all the routes. The only issue with this one is it's a little bit small and it's hard to see your character underneath all the other ones. But I just found out this plugin actually has a new updated version that looks way better. So let me show you guys that. So here's the one I'm currently using. You can see it's from 2014, but they have this link here. You click on that, and it takes you to the extended version 4.71, and check this out, it looks way better. There's a bunch of ways to customize it. Definitely recommend this if you guys need a full track map. Alright, this next plugin is the car radar plugin, and this plugin is amazing. It actually shows you all the colors of the cars next to you. And if you, here, let me stop really quick. So one thing that's really cool is it's kind of like a 3D radar too. You can see how the angle of how the cars are being shot changes up as I turn. If you have the latest CSP version, go to, and it's a little bit hidden here, but go and open your apps on the right side. So if I go to all apps, and if you go to built-in app section and open the app shelf, this is where you unlock the secret car radar right there. And you just make sure it's turned on. And you could actually click a little arrow here that will allow you to install it, but I already have the latest version installed. Again, I think that requires the latest CSP version. I don't know if they released it. So if you don't have that one, you'll still have another built-in radar. Just open up your apps and scroll down and try to find radar in your app section here. And that's all there is to it, guys. Go out there, have fun, practice. Remember, you're not gonna get it first try. It's definitely gonna be really hard starting off, but just try to take all these tips from this video, see if you can apply it. Maybe it'll help you out. And good luck going for that certified role, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.